Amazing. Incredible.
And now it's time for the show.
There we are. Good evening, everybody. I'm Shawn Hansen. You're watching Shawn Hansen's Comedy Corner, my 150th show.
Woo!
I have with me, to your right, Bob Seibel, Anthony Brooks, Renee Reynolds, and Colleen Coughlin. So there's the two girls, or the double letters there, RR and CC.
BS.
BS. So how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
Let's the ladies go
I just went.
You
I
just
just got
went?
back, so I'm good. I'm ready to settle in, Shawn.
So who wants to start this interview?
Seniors. No, let the kids go first.
All right.
Kids.
Don't look at me.
Oh yeah, kids.
So I haven't talked to Renee in a while.
I guess I'm up.
Weebly wobbly.
What's up?
So what have you been up to this past winter?
I have started running a room at Maddie's in Saugus.
Yeah.
It's an open mic sort of room.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Kowloon comedy contest.
Yeah.
So each week we have people come by. We pick a winner each week, and at the end of the month we have 4 people square off, and the winner gets to host a Kowloon. So it's a pretty good
that's
deal.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And out of all the comics that you've had on the showcase, who do you think has performed the best so far?
What do you
Or
mean,
maybe-
Shawn?
Maybe like
Performed how?
some of the top 3 like best contestants.
Well, the winners so far have been Chris Cameron,
Mm-hmm.
and we had Faggy. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of speaking with him yet.
Not yet.
Okay, and they were the 2 winners so far.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we've had quite a few good people come by, pretty close calls, so. Nita Dunn,
Nita Dunn. Wow.
she did a great
She's
job
my
up
camera
there.
woman right now.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Woo!
Hard to believe. So if we could get camera 3 to zoom in on camera 1 to show that this is an actual truth be told,
There she is.
and then we'll
There
zoom
it
back to whoever wants to go next. I guess we'll do ladies go first.
Oh.
So we'll go to Colleen Coughlin from Cape Cod. Not really,
Not
but
true.
the C's go ahead.
I am from Charlestown.
So
That's close to Cape Cod.
how's everything been with you lately?
Oh, I
And,
know. I've missed you, Shawn.
yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long
Have you
time.
been working on any webisodes or anything?
We've been doing some writing. We did some writing today,
Yeah.
actually. So
Oh, wow, that's
we're
good.
getting there.
So what did you come up with earlier today?
Come up with earlier today. We're working on a bit about a woman who is always drunk at the bar,
Yeah.
and when people come in and meet her, she befriends them and then asks them to kill her husband. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, should
Very
be a good
nice.
one. I'm gonna enjoy that one.
Should be an interesting scene.
Everyday life.
And now we're gonna transfer, if you want to call it that, to Anthony Brooks.
Yeah, the fat comic, right?
I wouldn't say that.
No.
Yeah.
I'm getting
So what
there.
have you been on? I've seen you last at the showcase back in October at Middletown, Rhode Island.
Yes.
And how's everything been since then?
Good, doing really well. I do my own showcases still,
Yeah.
but I had to move it to Fall River now.
Mhm.
It's a nice place down there. I do once a month
Mhm.
comedy showcase. There's no charge you could get to it, and I do feature all kinds of comics from the Boston area and the South Shore and Rhode Island, and I'm the host of it. It's a good time.
Oh, wow.
I'm still doing that, yeah.
And where exactly is that located?
It's at a place called the Tap House Grill. It's located on South Main Street in Fall River. It's a brand new hot spot for the.
Oh, wow.
That's a good time. Yeah, it's a nice
Very
place.
nice. And you have a fan page as well? And
Yeah,
everybody can find more information about
Yeah,
you
it's
there.
it's on Facebook. Obviously, we all have Facebook nowadays, and it's called the Anthony's Comedy Showcase on Facebook.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, buddy, nice.
All right, and then we'll go to Bob Seibel, my fourth guest. He's sleeping again.
I'm so glad that these kids have these open mics, and I mean that sincerely, because there was in the history of comedy when I started, tons of them. Then it went into a desert. There was nothing. And I'm very grateful for these people to start these things going, because it's a venue where people can come out and do their thing, man. There were some years where kids would call me up. Kids, anybody under 65 is a kid to me. And it's a joke, folks. Come on, lighten up. And I'm watching this clock, 52 minutes. I got a long night ahead of me. But
Hey, you're not gonna
this
be
is
the only
nice. How to
time.
torture somebody. 52:07, 06. My
says
God,
4. That
did I
says
get a
3.
reprieve from the governor? And I mean that. I'm very, very happy to hear these two kids talk about that stuff. These open mics are so important to get the trade honed, you know what I mean? Because when we started, there was like 2 places, the Ding Ho and the Comedy Connection. That was it. And then they started the satellite rooms and everything. So
Speaking of
made my dates when I made my night. I'm sorry, night.
Speaking of satellites, that's gonna I don't know why I'm saying transition into me talking, because you.
It's always about you.
Well, you tend to take up all my time.
That's what you pay me for. Love this coffee.
But anyways,
Oh,
are
I
you doing
forgot.
a fist bump?
21st.
Yeah.
Go ahead. How
But
do you do
anyways,
it?
tell me what you've been up to lately. You said you have a interesting story to tell everybody, Bob.
You want it now or you want to wait? There's other people.
It doesn't matter.
All right,
we
true
can do it
story.
now.
You ready?
Yeah.
True story. Been around quite a while. I'm not going to start getting into historical chronology, but let me preface by saying my mother passed away. For a better word, she died, and in '81. And the guy's name that was the funeral director was Dave Solimini. And fast forward, and so I decided I just wanted to take it to the cemetery. In the ground, it's over. So about 20 of the comedians at the time, Lenny Clark, Sweeney, and Gavin, and all these guys that I was working with, they all showed up at the funeral. And they're all standing, the coffin's in, they're all standing there. My aunts from New York and Fall River. Nice. Oh my God. In New Bedford, they were all there sitting in front. The comics are all in back. And the priest was late because my mother was practicing the Catholic faith, and so I said, let the priest come. He's late. Dave Solimini, the funeral director, says, why don't you do 10 minutes? True story. I'm like, are you nuts?
Oh, man.
10 minutes? I did. 10 minutes over my mother's coffin. And everybody is restrained except for my aunt from Fall River. She starts clapping. I go. And there's another funeral about, on another side of the cemetery, and they're all looking at the funeral over here. They're going, that's a better funeral. They're going to lose people over there to come out. True story. I swear I'm not making up fabrication, nothing. So fast forward to about a month and a half ago. You may be shocked, but I don't drink anymore. I'm a full-blooded alkie. And I used to drink at this bar in Lynn, Massachusetts, not Lynn, England. Lynn, Mass. I used to drink at a bar called Frank Seagrill. And the owner was a guy named Ziggy Shavinsky. And Ziggy was a sweetheart. And every weekend I would stagger into Ziggy's establishment loaded. And Ziggy would throw me out the front door. He says, don't come in here with a foreign load. You don't get loaded outside, bring the load in. They call it a foreign load. So I'd stagger around the back to the restaurant. I'd go in, put music in the jukebox, start singing to the patrons, and his wife Madeline would come running over. Ziggy's in the other room. Ziggy would come out, throw me out that place. I go in the lounge and back. The Greek band's playing. I'm doing the cha-cha. True story, I'm thrown out. This went on for years and years and years. Well, finally, about 2 months ago, Ziggy's in the hospital. Madeline calls me, and we kept our friendship even when I got sober and other things that I was messing with, but clean and sober. So she called me. Ziggy's in the hospital, not much time left. So I went up to Salem Hospital, Salem, Massachusetts, and I saw Zig, give him a big hug, and I took off. I was out of town for about a week. I got a phone call. Ziggy's gone. The wake is Saturday. And so I said, I'll be home Friday, so I'll show up at the wake. but I got to be there a little early. I got to show up in East, you know what, and I got to leave early. I don't want to be in the friggin' nighttime driving up to Vermont looking for a room and you know, in the middle of cow country up there. So I said I'll show up at the wake early. So we'll just take it up to an hour. So now,
Really?
I said, Sean's going, oh my God. And start throwing coins on the floor.
At 46.
All right, I'll fast forward it. Okay, we're behind time. Okay. Don't ever ask me how I'm doing. So now, I show up at the wake. I wait till the family goes in and they do the viewing, blah, blah. And so I walk in, I sign the register, and Dave Solimini, the same man who buried my mom in '81, is standing there. This is exactly what he said. This is a month ago. I want you to do 10 minutes. I said, you pull this, you know what, S blank blank T on me back in '81. Don't pull this on me today. I'm not in the mood for it. And he smirks and he walks to his office. I walk in, sign the register, the whole line of people grieving, and then I come up to Madeline, give her a big hug, and she says, oh, Ziggy loved you, and I know that, and thanks for coming to the hospital last week. And I go over, I kneel down, I do my prayer, I turn around, and he hands me a microphone. On my mother's grave, I'm standing there with Ziggy laying behind me, open coffin, I got the mic, and I'm there. Oh my God. Talk about a challenge, right? But I knew the family was in on it because nobody looked terrified, so I stood there with the mic, and this is the opening line. I turned around and I said, Ziggy, for years you threw me out of your bar. Today, you're not going to throw me out of your wake. And I did 10 minutes, and I got a great response. So now on my resume, I'm available for weddings and wakes. So if you feel like you need a laugh at a burial, just call me, I'll do it. But there's laughter anyway. And that family came over to me and said, thanks for breaking the ice.
Oh, wow.
Is that funky?
That is funky.
And I walked out of here like, my God. So there is humor in death.
Right.
Yeah. That's it, 45, 48.
That's
Yeah,
it.
you went 3 seconds over. but
Okay,
you
sorry.
can
You
stay
shut
on
off
the
now,
show,
you shut
that's
off.
fine.
I know I am.
Now, speaking of funky stories, this afternoon I called in D'Angelo's because I wanted to make an order, and I said, hey, I'd like a chicken teriyaki with honey mustard, cheese, and no mushrooms. And the guy was like, would you like mushrooms with that? I'm like, no, I want a chicken teriyaki, honey mustard, no mushrooms, cheese. And he's like, well, to make it easier for me, what don't you want with it? I'm like, I just want a chicken teriyaki with honey mustard, cheese, and no mushrooms. And then he's like, would you like peppers with it? And then I'm like, no, chicken teriyaki, honey mustard, cheese, no mushrooms. So he's like, how many mushrooms do you want? So I hung up the phone. But anyways, with that said,
That was 44:56 on the clock. Go ahead. Why'd you ask me back? Go ahead.
did you make clocks as a kid or something?
Yeah. We are Germans in the Black Forest. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Anyways, with these wacky stories we have here, what does Colleen Coughlin have for us? You were in a cage with the woman on your Facebook.
It happened.
What?
Do you wanna
They have
tell us-
photos, I can't deny it.
Do you want to tell us about that or
We
another
were just
story?
having a ladies' gathering at my house Saturday night, and they overserved me. And I ended up in the dog crate with my friend straddling me. I don't know what happened.
love it.
I think I got roofied. I don't know. I don't know.
And you got pictures of it and it's on your profile.
I don't know who did that either.
Yeah,
I was hacked.
you were hacked.
Yeah, I was
It's-
straddled and hacked.
It's all conspiracy. And going to Renee, what is a wacky story you have?
I haven't been straddled and hacked in a while, Sean. Unfortunately.
Come to my house Saturday.
I'm at a point that I won't turn you down.
Oh,
Hi, Joe.
I smell a different show coming up.
You know, I have been
Don't be part of
in a
that
dog crate, but not that recently.
Yeah.
I don't know much else about what's going on, Sean. I don't, you know,
so what have you been up to with your new job and so forth?
that's what you want to talk about, my job.
If you wanna.
I just left.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They smoke Latin lettuce there, so they
Yeah.
call it, and they drink alcohol.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty good job. I think Colleen should be hired.
And then,
She has a good resume.
and when do you quit your